Hello everyone, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. My name is D-Free, and in this video we're going to go ahead and talk about the new, or I guess new to JP anyway, KAIOKEN Goku and Super KAIOKEN Goku and the PyCon and of course the Frieza and Cell and King Gold. So hope you guys enjoy, subscribe if you're new of course for more content. Now, this information came out last night. Of course we have a bit more in the game. We're going to talk about that and then we're going to transition, so bear with me a little bit. But nonetheless, we have what looks to be the banner, and of course we got a featured Mighty Mask banner. Your boy needs one more dupe, so I guess I got to go in on that banner to get that, you know. But nonetheless, we have that coming. And then lastly, it doesn't look like it's the same event. It looks like, I don't know, man. That looks different. The banner is totally different. It could very well be just a story, but nonetheless, actually, it will be up. Story event reprints down there. It doesn't necessarily say, but I'm pretty sure that's a story because it has the exact same kanji, which is totally different from what Global got. Now, I'm assuming that means that this will come back to Global, like this variation of this event then, which this isn't actually the first time that they've kind of redone an event. One that immediately comes to mind to me is with the Resurrection F stuff. Now, if you weren't playing back then, you never got to play that very, very first Resurrection F event. They had one. It was called like Countdown to Resurrection F. Now, it was its own standalone thing. It was very good for what it was used for. I think there was some really good training stages in there at the time. But otherwise, after that, they did drop the actual Resurrection F story event. And then they never brought that one up back again. So it's kind of like they redid it. Not exactly the same thing, but it's kind of similar. So I wanted to put that out there. But nonetheless, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at these units and see how viable they actually even would be on Global, or on JP, excuse me. So to begin, by the way, I did report this last night. I just didn't do a video. So guys, make sure you do turn on notifications because sometimes I send out little community tab updates. I sent a picture there. I sent a paragraph for you guys and stuff like that. I can't always do a video, but I can do that. So again, I implore you to turn on notifications to stay up to date with me, or follow social media. Link is down below. Nonetheless, this unit here. Now, I want to just kind of really quick say they're both really good units, and they're especially good if you need them or you don't have a surplus of options, right? But looking at them from the perspective as of what's available right now in the game currently, and going from there. To begin, this is how he starts off, and then we're going to bounce over to his Dokkan Awakened form. He has immense damage, which is pretty awesome. Leader skill is not a bad sub-leader skill. I don't like sacrificing 7% HP. I don't like that. But it is what it is. I mean, that's just kind of the draw with Kaioken, Even the Dragon Ball Super card game, for context, does that type of stuff where it's like the whole notion of Kaioken is like sacrificing yourself to be able to do something, and it's pretty cool. I like it, and that's kind of what you're doing here. Ki +3 and attack +100% when HP is 50% or above. I've said it several times, but this is really crap. This is really crap. Like, I really despise 50%. Now, I'm not trying to make it sound like it's impossible to maintain, because of course, if you have a good team, you can do it. But just if you get hit once, too hard, and then he pops in, he's immediately losing all sense of viability for a turn, at least. You know what I'm saying? You get hit with a super or whatever. So I really don't like that, but I guess I would love for this to get changed to, even if they wanted to be freaking 80% or below, I think I would like that. I don't know. It depends what the uptime would be. But I just would rather have like 99% or below. That's the perfect one. 99% or below is perfect to me. Or 30% or above. I will take either of those two. But still, 100% is honestly, 100% is enough to be viable in this game. But you know what he's missing? He's missing a trait that a lot of characters have recently gotten. Now, I don't want to compare him to Dokkan Festival exclusives because he's not that, even though he picks up Fierce Battle nonetheless. But a trait that he's missing is the defensive side, because a lot of units, they're picking up 100 or so, 120 maybe, but they're also getting some defensive viability like Future Gohan and stuff like that, because that's kind of where the game is trending, and he doesn't really span that time, He's not really great at anything other than offense, which, he's also going to get self-sufficiency, which don't really need, because he's one of those units, and they're all Gokus, I believe, right? That has all the viable links: PFB, Shocking Speed, Over in a Flash, even Super Saiyan and Fierce Battle. Those are like the 5 links you would even ever want on a unit. Like, if you thought up a unit, those are the links you would give him. At least most of them anyway. So he doesn't need that at all, but I guess. So he's just damage and sacrifice here. So that's kind of how things are for him. Now, I want to take a look at the team option that he would have. Now, he's pretty he's in a really good position, though, I will say, just because the upper brass of physical has so many options that link tremendously well with him. But the issue with that guy in particular is, well, you know, in the scenario where you're looking at it like I am with these units available, you freaking don't need him. There's no reason to have him. So, I mean, look at this. You would have this guy as your leader or Bardock, whatever, and then you can go physical Vegito Blue. You can go him. You know, you can do this. You can do that. You can do that. There's like so, and of course, I didn't even include some more Titans like this guy here, and there's a lot. You know, Kefla is an option. Kale. There's a lot. So you kind of just don't really need him, and that's unfortunate. I think that had he come out before, like literally almost all the units I just grabbed are like within like the last 6 months of the game, his physical just got insanely busted since anniversary, to be honest. But had he come before that, I think he'd be a lot more viable because there wouldn't be that many options that are just innately better than him. Of course, like I said, if you don't have those units, that doesn't apply to you. But I did want to kind of compare him to what's currently available in the game. Even if I don't include the LRs, I mean, he's barely going to get in. And that's not even considering the surplus of top tier, not even just average, top tier physical support units they have, you know? There's Gohan, there's the Pan in here somewhere. There's a lot. And then even if you take a look at it from the perspective of Super Battle Road, he's not going to be great there. In fact, he's a detriment in Super Battle Road because of the HP sacrifice. He has no defense, you know, stuff like that, which is a very similar unit would be SSB KAIOKEN, who actually at least has some semblance of defense, a little bit, you know, even though his passive isn't great, but it is what it is as far as that Goku goes. Now, I know that it sounds like I'm very down on the unit. I'm not. I actually really am happy about this. Believe it or not, I really want this unit on JP, mainly because I'm a collector. You know, I play the game like the Japanese play the game, and I just want to collect everything. That's what they play for, man. They don't care for crappy gameplay, man. But I'd be lying if I said that he was anything above average at this point. You know, he's slightly above average, I guess. You know, if I'm going from C being average, I'd rate him a C+ right now, to be 100% honest with you. And that is factoring in Extreme Z Awakening, Battlefield, that's factoring in Super Battle Road, that's factoring in everything except for Dokkan events, assuming you have the top brass of units. But again, I got to make sure I say it again so people understand. If you're missing units, then maybe he's an A+ for you, you know, and not a C+. Maybe he's an A+, because otherwise he's great. He's freaking great. So... And I just remember how awesome he was when he came out. And by the way, here's how the story mission looked. So I'm pretty certain that that's not going to be the same thing. It's going to be different. But nonetheless, I really don't need that other than that example. So he's also not farmable. Keep that in mind. That Goku is not farmable at all. He is individual by himself. You will have to use Kais or Funky Kais or whatever those SR Supreme Kais that we get to sometimes. Now, let's take a look at PyCon, although I already had PyCon open. Here's a look at PyCon. Now, everything I said about Goku, honestly, a lot of it doesn't apply to PyCon. That's the funny thing. A lot of it does not apply to PyCon. There are ways Goku could be better. Like, and I don't think they will because they didn't do it with the Rage Vegeta and stuff. But if they want to buff Goku, first and foremost, give him some sort of defense, even if it's just 50%. Even though you're going to still make him sacrifice HP, it's a little bit of an easier pill to swallow if he at least can tank a hit. But if he's going to take 50k from a hit, a normal attack, and sacrifice HP, then damn, bro, what do you want? So, and also, these units aren't in categories, by the way, so keep that in mind. That's why I showed the example on the mono team. But I will also point out, in the future, maybe we get some sort of otherworld category. Like, I think Dragon Ball Legends has something similar to that with a Z ability or a tag or whatever. So we need something like that. You know, we'd get Janemba, we'd get Gogeta, we'd get PyCon, we'd get Super Kaioken Goku. We get a lot of cool stuff in there. So we need something like that. So in the future, they'll be better, and they'll probably be under a 170 attack and defense, and then maybe we'll have to revisit how good the Kaioken Goku is in particular. But like I was saying, let's bounce over to the extreme, or the awakened form of PyCon. Now, like I was saying with Goku, there are ways PyCon can be better. First and foremost, if this was an attack debuff, oh my goodness. Now, it doesn't apply to a lot of units, and unfortunately PyCon, a lot of what he does is he tries to debuff the opponent, and again, a lot of units can't be debuffed in Dokkan events. However, and also in Battlefield, I guess. However, that doesn't apply to things like Super Battle Road. in Extreme Z Awaken. Honestly, everywhere except for Extreme Z Awaken at this point, huh? That's the only way they know how to make stuff hard, is take away stuff from you. I'm still salty they did that to stunners, because units like General Blue, you have literally zero reason to use them if they can't stun. There's no reason. Even Turles, I guess, is a little bit better, but still, you know, in the perfect world, he's able to debuff and he works fine. And the team that he would be on honestly suits him a bit better. You know, it fits him and his viability. I'm not saying that he's better than Goku, but I am saying that I think that PyCon is more future-proof than Goku is, because he's the blend of attack and a blend of intangibles. So if we bounce over to STR, and the cool thing, you know how I was talking about how physical got really stacked recently? The cool thing about STR is this team recently, in fact, picked up a lot of shocking speed support. Like, it's really good shocking speed-wise. You have units, I mean, like, look at this. Look at this. And the cool thing about it is that they're all really good at a niche. Gohan's out there tanking with the Janemba-like passive, also applying the defense increase to your allies, and 50% is nothing to slouch at. Jiren is out there stunning all enemies. Now, these are all things, you know, when it comes to stunning or debuffing from PyCon, that can't be done in certain places, but at least simply factoring in Super Battle Road, those are all very, 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 very valuable things, right? And we also factor in the new Alarm Beerus. You know, this team has gotten a lot more shocking speed friendly, whereas just literally before Jiren came out, I guess, you know, we'd be looking at a team like this. You know, we're going right here, and it's kind of like, well, Gohan, you're the odd man out. What are you doing here? You really just don't belong anymore. So not that Gohan is better than these units. It's just that, you know, the team is more friendly to PyCon now and plays more into what he would want to do, because all of a sudden a unit like PyCon, who does not have the defense naturally, has another outlet to getting more defense, which plays into allowing him to tank better in conjunction with the reduction of attack that he'd be applying via his super attack. And of course, you'd also have maybe Kaba or whatever floating in that last slot, and all of a sudden, maybe he's picking up 90% defense, you know, and God forbid he's got the orbs or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, this team, it fits him very well, and it feels so weird to me, because I honestly am not the biggest fan of STR PyCon, but I can value and I can understand how he's important to what the game has established and is trying to establish, because that's a big part of it too. Is Dokkan is trying to, and I mentioned it earlier, they're really trying to future-proof some of these units. They've taken a step back from making every new unit the newest harding-hitting, most OP unit, you know, and they've been on a trend downwards since the anniversary. Like, the new units are kind of like, meh, you know, and they come out and then they're either underwhelming in comparison or things like that. So they went really grand and just started slowing down, which I think was kind of smart, because they set the cap so high that there's no way these other units are going to hit it, especially because, again, the anniversary was LRs. These units are freaking LRs. There's no way there's any competition. And they're LRs that turn into completely different units that are OP as hell. That's why Vegito, basically, Super Vegito is insane. So these units have been future-proof, and I think that PyCon fits more into that than Super KAIOKEN Goku does right now, just because all he does is offense. Now, offense has always been the main standing point of this game, but, you know, it's kind of, like I said earlier, a hard pill to swallow when you're doing, sure, maybe you do 1 million or 2 million damage, assuming that you don't defeat the opponent. You're in a position where you have to take maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 4 50k attacks back, at least even 35k. You know, I'll be generous to say 30k. That's a lot of HP, especially when you're also sacrificing your own HP. Now, also understand, if he gets on the category, you'll have more HP to play with. That's not exactly a good thing, because he doesn't debuff from your HP or sacrifice a flat number. He does a percentage. So for the units that heal a percentage of your HP, the same way they heal a ton when you have a lot of HP overall, this guy is going to, yeah, it's a lot. So I don't know, man. I like I said, I enjoy him. So forgive me. Don't take offense to it. I'm just trying to be as honest as I can. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Hopefully this did kind of give you guys some perspective. You know, I'm still gonna go for both of them. Might even try to rainbow them, because I don't know if they'll come back. So it is what it is. Have an awesome day. I'll catch you all in the next Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. Take it easy, and peace out, guys.